What's up guys, Nate Petrosky from Narrowway Homestead. Today I want to talk about planting grass. First of all, I know nothing about planting grass. So why am I talking about it? Well, I'm just kind of using my mind and trying to envision how this is all going to work. But I recently built this fairly steep bank out of just clay. It's basically fill dirt, and now I want to plant stuff so nothing erodes. And I have planted things. And this is just going to basically be a documentation of how I planted, what I planted, and how it worked out, because I will film this a few weeks after this video is started and you guys will see the results, and you guys can predict halfway through the video whether my method is going to do anything or it's going to be a complete failure. But I'm posting the video either way. On a side note, I'm short on electric. It has been rainy all day despite the fact that it doesn't look like it. Definitely facing panels west is way better than facing them south here, because when I'm short in spring and fall, it is somehow always rainy and dreary until we get to be about 4 o'clock or so, when I'm just getting something that would be great for a surge of power, but my panels are pointing that way. That's why I added these 3 over here. It's not what this video is about, but it is just one of those things I'm just gonna throw in there. If you're thinking about building solar, definitely pay attention to the weather patterns in your area, because I find that happens to me all the time. All right, I got 2 different places. First, this place is going to be mostly sun, and over here on the other side of the garage is a bank, and it is mostly shade. What's up, ducks? There's my solar panels to go on the roof. I say mostly shade, it's got this whole section here. And what I did for prep was take a rake and just scratch the surface, and I have been having some erosion issues. It has started to just wash the clay down into the area that's already yard. But I needed these banks so I could have a nice flat area around all the sides of my garage, so you can walk around the garage, you can even drive a quad around it. So I ended up planting a mix of clover and grass seed, and the way I'm doing this is to just throw a sparse amount out every other day or so, as opposed to just planting and seeding and hoping for the best, because all the rain I've gotten, it has been from thunderstorms. And these thunderstorms, if I get a gully washer, it'll wash all my seed down there, and that'll be fine because it'll fill in some bare spots. But I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket or all my seed down on the hill at one time, because if I lose it all, at least I've got some more to try again with. I started planting this around May 15th, and the specific things I'm planting, for those of you that know way more than I do about stuff: Imperial whitetail clover. I'm really not trying to help out the deer with munching around my building, but I got ducks, I got rabbits. They can probably utilize it. I started planting it just at the latest time for West Virginia, according to all that. I didn't do soil tests. I didn't do all kinds of stuff. I didn't even really read the back of this bag a whole lot. I did just a little bit. I'm just throwing seed and seeing what happens. The other thing is Kentucky 31 tall fescue. And why did I plant this? Well, it was available at the store. It was somewhat reasonably priced. And the reason it was reasonably priced, how come I can't find it? Well, it's down there on that tag. I'm not reading it. Anyway, the reason it was reasonably priced is because 50% of the weight is a seed coating, which is supposed to, from what I understand, help retain moisture around the seed to give it a better chance to sprout. I really just thought it was for them just to add to it, so it looks like you're buying a 50-pound bag of grass seed, and you know, it doesn't really go far. But apparently there's a reason. Well, I would love to have a perfect mix of clover and grass here. In reality, as long as it's green, has roots, and holds the banks together so that my robot mower can run up it, I'm gonna be happy. And I seeded it like this. Just through random seed. And the clover has been seeded twice, very sparsely. I'm gonna try to zoom in here and see what we got going on. I'm trying to decide. I actually have to look through the phone, same as you guys. I think I'm seeing clover. Yeah, I totally am. Those seeds are so tiny, guys. Very tiny seeds. That's what we were looking at. These are the size of my hands. So it looks like I am seeing sprouts all over the place, and that's been 2-ish days ago. So that is really, really awesome to see. The grass seed has not been down as long, and that's clover too. Wow, you know what, that clover, and I'm not sure, is all that clover as well? Those little green things? It's a little hard to tell. Grass seed I planted first on the other side. Let's go look. And again, note, this is not a how-to video unless I'm very, very successful at this, and then it's totally a how-to video because it worked for me. Here's an example of a lot of the stuff that's just in the soil, roots, rocks, but I'm just trying to grow in between all that. That's clover, right? Did that really come from those seeds? I'm just doubting myself that it's sprouting that fast. Because, like, there could be other stuff in this. There's obviously the other stuff that just so happened to get in here when I built the bank. And so some stuff's just trying to shoot out. Here's a real obvious example of what it did look like. And then when I scratched it with the rake, most places just have a little more looseness to it, which is really good. And that looseness is what I'm not wanting to wash down. Over here, I've got a little more of a washing out issue due to the downspouts. You know, this all needs help. I'm not trying to grow nothing here right now. I got to work on that. Did want to talk a little bit about how long it took. Not that long. It took me 24 minutes to scratch all this up with a rake and kind of get down these root piles, which I have to come back through here and scoop up. Got a rock pile over there. Some of that, but it didn't take long. This is just a really rapid way to do not a small area, but it's really not a huge area either. I thought about dragging a piece of equipment with something behind it to tear it up, but 24 minutes to rake all that, not a big deal. The other side probably took 24 minutes as well, or a half hour or so, but I'm not seeing any evidence of my grass sprouting yet, which I wasn't expecting to see evidence of anything sprouting yet. I say that. No, I think my clover's just trying to sprout. That's really cool. Anyway, I'm gonna keep an eye on this, come back. What is that? I'm gonna quit messing with it. I'm gonna come back after a few days. If it rains, washes it all out, and I completely fail, yeah, I'll just let you guys know. If I do, I did think about putting straw here, but I don't think it's gonna matter a whole lot because if it actually rains hard enough to wash down, it's just gonna wash the seed under the straw out. If I was seeding a flat area, if I had a hydro seeder, or, you know, I don't know what the right thing to do was here. The right thing to do was hopefully what I did, because I'm trying to do something in a really rapid way, get something to hold the soil together. The other thing I don't know, does clover have a good enough root system to actually hold the dirt together if that's the only thing that sprouts? I'm not sure. Time's gonna tell on all of it. It's only been a couple days, but look at that. This green clover is popping up everywhere. I'm not sure if I seeded it enough by now, seeded it too much. I have no idea how that all works. But it's a little bit dry today, and the weather's been what I would consider perfect. So I'm just gonna give it a little bit of water and hope that it just continues. Later, the sun is no longer trying to shine and it's just about to rain. Some of the bare spots I've hit with some more seed. Hopefully the established stuff is not going to erode away quickly. I don't think it will. Standing up and just kind of looking at it, there are plants everywhere. Some places possibly a little too dense. I'm not sure how spread apart all these plants are supposed to be, but that's just kind of the way it's going to work on a hillside anyway. They're going to gather in certain areas. I can literally hear the rain coming, so I'm going to give it a few days. Unless we get a big washout, I'll give it a few days and see what it looks like. If we get a big washout, well, I'll put that clip right after this one. I'm not sure, but I think I'm about 5 days later, and here's what the clover's all looking like. Some places it's looking phenomenal. Other places it's a little bit patchy. But I've been slowly throwing more seed. I wish I had seeded the whole thing initially because I never did get a gully washer that would have washed it away. Look at this. It's a gorgeous mini forest of clover. That's so cool. I've had to water it a couple times. Not much though. All right, let me fast forward some more. All right, it's been 20 days since I planted clover and grass seed. Check that out. Some spots looking really good. Other spots a little bit bare. That's the way I seeded. But the grass actually did eventually start sprouting, just nowhere near as fast as the clover, but you can see there's grass involved. This clover is actually looking really good, I think some spots. And we've been walking on this and Az has been tearing around, so like, it's just been tough. So some spots, probably too much clover. Other spots, not enough clover, but either way, these roots are starting to establish. We've gotten rains and different stuff going on, and not ideal for growing anything. Between the traffic and setting ladders up, all kinds of stuff we've been doing. But yeah, this is looking really cool. Looks even better on the backside. This is a spot where I only threw some grass seed and maybe a little bit of clover. There's a couple, but this spot just is heavy traffic, and this spot is no point in planting there yet until I do some rainwater stuff, but it's been doing good and I'm really happy with it. And I think before too long, I'll have a lot of nice clover here and the erosion will all but stop. So that's it, guys. That's how the clover planting went for me under less than ideal conditions. That's how I did it. The only thing that was ideal was the weather. the types of rains we got, and I'll keep you guys updated after 6 months or a year, and just you guys will see the clover in the background of other videos. So that's it. I just wanted to show off planting clover, a failure or a success, and I'm gonna go with success on this. Thanks for watching.
Vision narrates his life, cutting firewood, draining beasts away from city strife. The ducks they roam freely, acquired army true. Muscovies in the meadow, foraging in the dew. Lord, minions, small but